Hey guys, and welcome back to Sebastian at RC, and today is kind of going to be a different video. We're actually going to go ahead and paint up this Traxxas late model body here. I was been wanting to do a tutorial on this. You might see a few other clips of another bodies I painted. I think it's the UDR and the Mojave 6S bodies, but that one wasn't super informative, so I'm going to go ahead and do this again. Hopefully the background noise isn't too bad. We're actually in the shop here, don't mind everything else going on. But we're going to go ahead and paint this up. We have Traxxas paint. We're gonna go ahead and do a red, and then later you'll see we're actually gonna go ahead and wrap this as well. So this is gonna be a different video. But yeah, first things first, when you get this body, this one actually you had to cut out. For beginners, if you're gonna go ahead and start painting your first body, I would definitely try to get one that is pre-cut, because I did have to go and cut all these windows out. I know there's plenty of videos and tutorials about doing these painting bodies, RC bodies, but this is gonna be my video and how I do it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. All right, so we're in my clean room here. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do when you're painting bodies, you wanna make sure these things are clean. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is run some hot water. Usually hot water works the best. Go ahead and run it in there. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then turn that off. And then use red Scotch-Brite. I don't know exactly the grit of this, but this is the finer grit stuff. Go ahead and get that nice and wet as well. And then you don't wanna push real hard. We'll go ahead and put some soap on here. This is just Dawn dish soap, just a couple dabs here and there. And you're gonna want to go ahead and take this. Like I said, I don't always go super heavy on here. Just ever so slightly. And yes, you are going to scratch it. Just keep that in mind. The paint will cover that up. I believe this is the right stuff. But yeah, you just want to kind of run it across there. Like, I'm not pushing hardly at all. Now, I had some gray Scotch-Brite as well, but we're gonna go ahead and go with red. But yeah, you want to go ahead and take this and kind of see what I'm doing here. You kind of just go lightly. I'm hardly even pushing. Go right over every piece of this so that paint sticks. So we're gonna go ahead and finish that up real quick. So once you go ahead and get that scuffed up nice, you're just gonna run it back under water. Make sure you get all the soap off, like so. Like I said, hopefully you guys can see this. But yeah, we'll finish that off and we'll be right back. Okay, next step. You're gonna go ahead, make sure you grab a clean rag and get it all wiped off. You can also use compressed air, but these bodies do have a protective film on the outside so that when you paint the inside, you don't get paint on the outside. But if you use compressed air, make sure that you're very careful and don't blow that off. Yeah, you just wanna make sure you can see all the water on there. Let's see if I can find a spot where you can see what the scuffing up does. It's gonna look pretty awful. If you can see that in the light there, you can see the sand scratches, but that is what you want because you want that paint to stick. So we'll go ahead and finish wiping it up and move on to the next step. Okay, hopefully this part isn't too loud, but you wanna make sure your paint is shook up really well. You can probably wear gloves if you want, but I'm not going to. I do have a ventilation fan going outside and the fan pushing this way. So we can go ahead and start laying our first coat. Just do a little bit of a test pass there, perfect. So here you go, we'll just go ahead and just spray it out as nice and even as you can. The fan is kind of blowing it right now, but just nice even coats. It's hard. I'm not saying I'm the best painter there is out there, but you just want to make sure, just do a light coat just to get it to stick for first, like so. I might have to actually go ahead and turn that fan off. But you just want to make a nice even coat. I guess your first one doesn't have to be super even. Just get it on there. Like so. Yeah, the fan's blowing it pretty good. So that's kind of an issue. But make sure you're in some sort of ventilation area. Oh, imagine that. I got a piece of water, or a thing of water in there yet. No big deal. Now, it's probably not gonna be perfect. I don't think any of my paint jobs have been perfect, but we're gonna go ahead and turn the fan off once. We did just go ahead and angle it a little bit. So now we should be good to go ahead. It's nice to keep the bodies up in the light as well, so you can kind of see what you're doing. There, that's a little bit better. As you can see, it's laying out. Just take your time when you're doing these. There's no rush. No rush when doing stuff like this. There's no point in rushing it. Just take your time. Sure, it may be intimidating to do it first, and I know it was for me as well, Just take your time and yeah, cover it up. We'll do, usually this stuff dries pretty fast. But like I said, I'm not the expert painter out there, so don't come at me in the comments for, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. If anybody has any suggestions of what I'm doing wrong, I'd love to hear it. Like I said, I'm not perfect at this. I'm just trying to, I've had a couple people request to see this, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. I appreciate hearing you guys' feedback. Yeah, like as you guys can see here, sometimes the nooks and crannies are kind of a pain in the butt to get at, but you just got to keep slinging paint. That's all you got to do. Go ahead and hit the roof here. Trying to make sure you guys can see this as best as possible. Definitely wouldn't hurt to have some gloves on if you don't want to get paint all over on yourself. But yeah, make sure you get in every spot there. You can kind of watch it gliding along there to where you want it to go. All right, we're gonna go ahead, let that dry, and move on to our next coat. All right, guys, so we did go ahead and put a couple coats on this thing. Usually just let it sit for maybe a couple minutes, but it does dry relatively quick. As you can see, it's covered pretty well. You can kind of test by going up to the light. You can see it's not perfect yet, so we will have to go ahead and put a little bit more on the back, but we'll go ahead and do that now, and then we should be good to go. So we did go ahead and get that done and painted. Looks pretty darn good. Single colors are pretty easy. Now, if you want to go ahead and back it, usually you back them in like a white or a black, but I believe I'm just going to leave it just like this. Let's go ahead and get this thing back on the bench and throw the insides in it. So we did actually go ahead and change my mind. We are going to go ahead and back this in black. It just kind of brightens it up a little bit and it looks a little better. So this one, it covers pretty easily. Black's easy to use. You can see it's covering pretty well. Just cover it enough. You don't have to get too crazy. Just like so. Get it all around the edges. See, I missed a spot. It's hard to get it all, but didn't do the big parts. Just like that. Like I said, you don't have to get super crazy with this. Just do one good, solid, heavy coat. If you do need to go ahead and do more, you sure can. But like I said, you don't have to get too carried away with it. We're gonna go ahead, as you can see, we're going to finish that up and we'll be ready to go, guys. Now we're gonna go ahead and go back and put the insides in. All right, sorry guys, but as you can see, we did go ahead and go get pretty far on this thing. I just sat down here the other night and kind of just pieced it together. It would have been a boring video anyways. Piecing all these plastics together, or this inside Lexan on these Traxxas late model bodies, is quite a pain. Just a fair warning, if you're gonna go ahead and do one of these and paint it yourself, it is a process. But overall, I am super happy with this. Yeah, shout out to Whipple's Custom Wraps there. If you guys are looking for Traxxas late model wraps, they have sprint car wraps. I'll go ahead and link them in the description. I don't know if they have a YouTube channel, but I'll go ahead and link that as well if I can find it. Yeah, overall, this is the Bobby Pierce wrap. Race fans, you guys know who this is. We got a Bobby Pierce and we got a Ricky Thornton Jr. over there, so shout out to the race fans. But we're gonna have to go ahead and put this other side on. The wrap goes on perfectly. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm not the best wrap person, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, we do have to go and do the other side, so let's go ahead and do that once, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, this thing is done. Oh, I cannot tell you how happy I am with the way this thing looks. Definitely is a process doing bodies like this, but yeah, I just wanted to do the video on. I'm sorry I didn't really do it on how to wrap thing, but it is quite the process, and it does take time and be just a long video. Yeah, shout out to Whipple's Custom Wraps. If you guys are looking for wraps, make sure you guys go check them out. But yeah, I appreciate the comments and the feedback on you guys wanting to see the painting video. Hopefully it's all right. Well, like always, I appreciate all you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure you haven't, hit the like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.